Hello, everybody. My name is Scott Giles, and I would just like to thank all of you for attending the demonstration portion of the implementation assignment for our submitted applications that we are reviewing at the end of this term. My application for your consideration is actually a calendar application that is tailored specifically to the needs of a church community and congregation. This church calendar application is standalone, currently single user. This is a Java application implemented using the JavaFX framework and is packaged with Maven. It's pretty straightforward. This calendar just allows a church administrator or member to post events and then to view those events in a monthly calendar layout. This implementation is intentionally minimalistic. We had to meet a pretty strict time constraint, and that was how I came up with this MVP. Aside from POM XML, I'd like to take just a moment to apologize. I know the viewing is not ideal. I just got a new computer and I've not had a chance to install the video capture software. So I'm doing the best I can here. Aside from the POM that holds all the configurations and dependencies, you can see that we have 4 main classes, and each has a clear division of responsibilities. These 4 primary classes are main, view calendar, event, and post event. For the purposes of this application, persistent storage is actually handled through an external JSON file that resides on the root directory of the application. Pulled it up here really quickly in Notepad++. It's not very well formatted, but it is meeting the needs of the application in terms of persistent external storage. So we can go ahead and fire the application up. Again, we're using the JavaFX framework and building with Maven. So we'll go ahead and run the application here. And it'll let me click. All right, and that brings us just to the main class. When the user launches the application and lands in the main class, the project is launched, and it builds a small primary window that contains the landing page with a title window and 2 main action buttons. Those are post event and view calendar. Each button is wired to a static launcher method. As you can see, we have the show post event window or the view calendar show calendar window. So this keeps Main strictly responsible for just bootstrapping and routing. And this enforces that whole single point of entry design decision and separation of concerns, so that any errors or problems that come from launching the application don't spill over into other components. From here, when the user clicks post event, this launches the post event class, which creates an entirely new stage and constructs a form for the user interface using JavaFX controls. So we have a text field for fields up here like the event name, event time, and the description. And we have a date picker for the date. So as you see when you click here, you get a date picker window. And we'll just pick one at random. The 2 buttons that we have are just save event and cancel. The save handler reads the form fields to create a new event instance using getText and getValue methods. So here we will have another sample event because I've made quite a few during testing. We've selected a date. The time will be 9 o'clock a.m. And the description will be just test for the purposes of testing. When you click Save Event, all right, so we're in post event now. When you click Save Event here, it is actually going to call the save event to JSON method, and understand that kind of explains. So within the event class, it's straightforward with just a few string fields and setters and getters for all of them. So it's the actual posting of the event that is doing a lot of the interaction and working with other classes and external storage. So storing date and time as strings just really simplifies the data manipulation and avoids a lot of formatting complexity just to get our MVP. Right, so in here, once we click Save Event, we'll get a confirmation window popping up. And then what happens is that it actually loads the existing churchevents.json file that I showed you earlier and appends the new event, and then writes the whole list back to churchevents.json using Jackson's object mapper.write value method. Now, that probably would not scale very well, but again, just to meet MVP, this is what we have working. There's another issue, as long as we're talking about it, is that the current implementation does not perform null checks before it calls the event picker. So let's say that we have some other event and we don't enter a date or a time or other required fields. There's no input validation or null checks or anything like that. So you can see here when I actually click Save Event, it'll go ahead and throw an error. One thing that is noteworthy though is that it doesn't crash the entire application. So again, it comes back to having that clear separation of concerns to make sure that it doesn't happen. So oops is going to be the name of that event, and this time we do enter values for all the fields. At that point, the event does save successfully. So it does somewhat handle errors gracefully. Obviously, there is room for improvement there. The other window is View Calendar. So the View Calendar class provides that user interface and encapsulates month navigation, day cell rendering, and an events list down here at the bottom. So within that new window, we get the title label, a month navigation HBox with buttons for previous and next month. And we get a grid pane calendar view as a grid, and a VBox listing all of the events for that month. So the grid creation logic uses year month and has the current month set as a variable. If you hit previous or next, it just updates the current month variable to either the previous month or the next month, and then re-renders the entire page. From there, again, each time as it goes through, we get the full grid view. Currently, each cell only can display 2 events, and as you can see, they're truncated. If they start getting too long, it will actually throw off the formatting of the entire cell. And that is pretty much it for the minimum viable product for this application. We'll go ahead and close out and get an exit code of 0. And that's it for the church calendar application. Again, my name is Scott Giles, and I want to thank you for your attention. Have a great day.